When were you first aware of this urge that you have?
I suppose the very first day I wrote anything, you know, maybe when I was about 10 or 11.
But what feeling did you have when you were really young as a child?
Again, just lost in my own imagination, you know, this imagination world. And then when I picked up a pencil and a piece of paper and started writing, and I remember the first day of writing in a blue, like, notepad jotter, you call them at school, and in the back of my parents' car, and I wrote something. And then I wrote my name in the condensation in the window, and I just remember finishing that act, and I just created something out of my own free will onto a page, you know. And nobody stopped me, nobody could do anything about that. I thought that was just really empowering. I was even thinking about it now, I've still got the same.
What did you write in that book?
I wish I had it, you know. It was probably something like the sky is blue, the grass is green kind of stuff, you know, but it was just the act of writing. And ever since, you know, it's always been my coping mechanism with anything. I have to write, it's like eating, it's like I have to write to function. Can't function without it, you know. So, but that's been something that I discovered from very early on, and it's something that I just haven't stopped, you know.
Does your grandfather play an instrument?
No. He doesn't play. He tells me he was a great singer in his day, you know. Very handsome man, and he looks, you know, he says that he used to follow like show bands, like the Clipper Carlton from Derry, and he would usher band. But it's just his presence and his. I was very close with him as a kid, still am. So.
But what was your?
Well, my grandmother she had a great interest in literature, you know, and she used to read me like Brendan Behan when I was like that size, you know, and my uncle Brendan was a writer, you know, and he was putting me on to like Dylan and Leonard Cohen and real lyric heavy wordsmiths when I was like 6 or 7, you know. That was my education. So I was blessed, you know. Like they were a big help. They didn't treat me as a kid. They spoke to me as an adult, and I think that's really important as well, you know.
And when did the guitar enter the picture? Because you could have easily become a poet or just a writer.
Yeah.
Why the music? Why melodies?
It was just another avenue of self-expression, just another way to get these emotions out. Because I discovered that I could sing, and you know, your parents kind of do your party piece there, sing a song, which I used to find traumatic, you know. It was awful. But it was just like, again, it's like you discover it very early on that when you're in the act of singing, or when you're in the act of creating anything, you're in tune with something else greater than yourself, you know.
Which is?
I'm not sure. Just this higher state of consciousness, you know.
And what can that high state of consciousness bring you, or even bring humanity?
Clarity, and from that clarity, healing, you know. And just art in general. Art is so important, you know. Like good art can replace all religion and all dogma. Like a good album or a painting or a poem is gonna mean more to a kid than any politician or any political party.
What song did it for you? What song, lyric-wise, melody-wise?
Well, one of the most vivid memories, musical memories, is hearing Leonard Cohen's voice for the first time. That really struck me. So Long Marianne was the song, and it came bellowing out of my uncle's bedroom. And I remember just coming up to the top of the stairs and hearing this, you know, this shake, this hum. Come over to the window, my little darling. That just come over to the window, my little darling. I'd like to try and read your palm, you know. Lost. It was that I got a chance to cover that song recently, which was a privilege. It was that, and it was the great Irish balladeer and icon Ronnie Drew. It was his voice. My granny used to sing that song. A wheeler, wheeler, whalia. There was an old woman and she lived in the wood. And his like gravel, well, it was just, it really scared me, you know. So voices that really scared me, like his, really interested me, you know. People like Ronnie True and.
But how do you, if you said Leonard Cohen, obviously he's a very good writer, and how do you perceive your own songs then? Because you have to, I can imagine you like those songs from those great big artists,
Yeah.
and how do you try to craft your art and craft your song?
Well, I mean, they're the teachers. If you're looking for teachers, they're the teachers. That's the standards that you need to be trying to reach. But first and foremost, the reason that I write it, apart from the fact that I need to do it, it's because through writing and expression, I can actually get a deeper understanding as to who I am as an individual, you know. And if there's one person in the universe that I can ever understand, it's myself, you know. So writing in that sense is a selfish act, but it's self-care as well, and you have to work at it, you know. I just want to continuously get better and better at my craft. It's all about developing the craft, you know. And it's not about, I think if you're anybody with a public voice, or you're anybody that is calling yourself an artist, you need to make art, and you need to say something worth saying, you know, and you need to put something out into the world that is nourishing, and it's not empty and hollow, and it's not, you know, you're not doing it for ill-gotten gains, you know. I mean, people do it, but you know, let them at it. I have no interest in just kind of hollow, bland music, art, you know.
But do you think then technology nowadays is making people drift apart from who they really are?
Well, from the sense of actually holding an organic instrument, you know, like a piece of wood, and creating something with a guitar or a piano. I'm not really sure. It's never something that's appealed to me, you know. I'm sure, like I've listened to electronic music, and it can have that effect, and it can bring you to places, and everybody's different, you know. It's all subjective, you know. But for me, it's more about rootsy music, organic music, with just really profound lyrics, and you know, something that's going to actually make you sit back and go, make you think differently, you know, or make you dress differently, or make you reevaluate things, or make you want to actually sit down and develop your own craft, you know. I can't really speak about electronic music in that regard, because I've no real experience with it, you know. But it's like anything, I'm sure there's frequencies in that can take you to that place as well, you know.
And you said that you constantly write.
Yeah.
So how do you then? Because you have to write, you have to make a living, you have to release songs.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because now, you have to. Obviously, you want to make a living out of it.
Sure.
Does it pressure you or?
No, it doesn't pressure me, because if I was playing to, you know, as long as I'm creating music that I think is at a certain level that I can get to, you know, and as long as I'm getting something out of it, I mean, everyone has to eat, you know, but I'll never starve if I have my guitar. I busked in England, you know, and I busked before, and you know, I could always do that again. I'm not in it for the money. I mean, look at this experience here. I'm getting to travel to a country I've never been to before, and you know, get up and express myself and connect with people, you know, strangers, but you have that connection. I mean, you can't put a price on that, you know. You can't put a price on that, and you know, you can be a wealthy man, but it can be a hollow life, you know. I think it's all a wealth of knowledge is what I'm after, you know. You know.
What are your plans then for releasing?
Yeah. Well, I'm working on the album in London at the minute.
Yeah.
So the songs are there, but the songs are continuously coming along. So I don't. It would be hard for me to say it'll be out this time, because the process is ever changing. I think I'm Like I wrote a couple of songs recently on the piano, and the whole process of songwriting it's just changed. It's opened up, you know. So there's different ideas coming through, and I'm just eager to investigate those ideas. But there'll be more releases before the end of the year anyway. End of this year, yeah.
Any album title already?
No, not just yet. No, I was thinking about that on the train actually today. Not just yet. No, I think of things and just sound real cheesy. I think I'll go down to the wire, you know. I'll go down to the very last minute. Right, we'll call it that. But you've got your whole life to write your first album, you know. So I better not. Yeah.
But then hopefully you still write an album and release it like Leonard Cohen prior to your death.
Absolutely. I'll keep making the music till it moves on to the next man. You know. I'll keep trying to channel it until it moves on to somebody else. You know. So.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.